Man Cave Classroom at 8:10, right? You awake, man?
Yeah.
Man, had a coffee?
I did.
So, I love the images and the photos from right away. We're gonna get to our source, Puck Magazine.
Puck Magazine.
That was 10 cents at one point.
Wow.
10 cents. What's magazines going for nowadays?
Um,
When was the last time you bought one?
I don't know. I do have a subscription to Men's Health. I get it.
That's about $4 or $5, right?
Yeah.
Per
I
issue.
I gotta I gotta look good.
Yeah, you do.
So.
Yeah, you do. So the thing is, I mean, when you're looking at magazines, or Price is going to tell you something about this document, but we're not going to get too fixated on prices. What we are going to look at is, we'll start off by making just some observations as to what's going on. We're actually going to compare this to another document from another point in time, and you'll see what we do with that as we go back and forth. So I'm looking at this. You almost got foreground, middle ground, background. I'll start with him.
Yeah. We'll work left to right in this one.
Yeah, sure. We got a sinister character there in the
Yes,
background.
definitely sinister. Black, dressed in black. Black, dark, signifies many different things
Sure.
in art.
In literature, yep.
It could signify ignorance or stupidity, like the Dark Ages, where it was a time when the world got dumb.
Absolutely.
But I always make the connection to Star Wars. Dark is
Darth
evil.
Vader, yeah.
Dark is evil. The dark side of the Force, the Sith, Darth Sidious, Darth Vader, Darth. But yeah, we got a guy dressed in black. Definitely creeping.
Yep.
Like he's trying to be, like you said, sinister. And it's Spain. Spain at the top.
I like the fact that you mentioned the cape, because Darth Vader also wore a cape.
Yep.
It's almost like the official uniform of bad guys.
Yes.
Just about.
I'm drawn to think of like a Western with a guy with like
Oh, the handlebar, Raleigh
handlebar, right, and
yeah.
he's tying a girl to the train tracks.
Oh yeah.
I
Those
think
are
I think
great.
there was like a Toy Story part of that.
And the funny thing is that was a common theme in a lot of stories.
Yeah.
Which is where we're getting to here. Where you had the bad guy, you had the damsel in distress, and then of course you had
The hero.
Dun dun dun. A hero.
Before we get to the hero, though, like maybe, we'll do the hero.
Let's go with the hero.
Let's go with the hero.
All right. So belt buckle says U.S.
Belt buckle definitely says U.S. and he's got the striped pants, the blue and white stars, very reminiscent of Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Even the white goatee, white hair.
And
reminiscent
why
of Uncle Sam.
wouldn't the United States be the hero? Of course, where is this published? It's published in New York. So, again, that's telling you something else.
1896
Right.
published.
Maybe Spain would have a different version of this,
Yeah.
where they would be the good guy and we would be the bad guy.
Definitely dressed as a, almost
Like a Shakespearean
Shakespearean
character.
swashbuckler.
Okay.
Like I would definitely picture a sword coming out, gun guard.
Right.
And hand on the back of the woman's head in a protecting manner, protecting Cuba. Cuba is dressed in white.
And she also has a flag on.
Right. White in contrast to the dark. White, the good. And so I'm drawn to many different historical contexts here. 1896. What's going on between Spain and Cuba right now?
Well, Spain is ruling Cuba. You have General
Valerio
Weiler, who's putting people in these concentration camps because you have an uprising taking place in Cuba. The United States is looking for reasons to support it and looking for a reason to get involved.
One of our main reasons is economic.
Yep, absolutely.
We have many business interests on the island of Cuba.
And Cuba's 90 miles south from Florida, and of course, looking down here, you see Cuba coming up again, the Cuban melodrama. So that's kind of giving you an indication.
I'm sure we'll throw up what melodrama means down here at the bottom.
Yeah, if you want to write that, sure. Now, reason why we bring this up is that now we look to something else. Now, something different here. Of course, this was taken out of a magazine. We know Puck was a bit of a comedic satire type of magazine. Now we have a photo.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like this. Well, does this really happen? Kind of.
Yeah.
Here we have now a photograph. So now we don't have anybody exaggerating anything. You have exactly as it appears.
Yes.
Picture's worth 1,000 words.
I see what appear to be three soldiers.
Yep.
Based on the helmets, based on their uniforms. Shovel.
Yeah.
Not a rifle, but a shovel.
But meanwhile, I think I thought I might have saw a rifle on the other guy, but I didn't. All right, so he's got a shovel, which is great. Now we have a woman kissing him on the cheek.
Big smile on his face.
Big smile.
You know, and then there's other men and women in the background all smiling as well. So
He's dressed like a soldier. So I mean,
I'm guessing that these three soldiers have done something
Yep.
to make these civilians very, very happy.
given the helmets, this is definitely World War II. Given the uniform as well, these are American soldiers, and we do know that, you know, once again, the United States went to help and liberate another country, and in this particular instance, this is the United States liberating France during World War II. So these are familiar themes or familiar situations, scenarios that we find ourselves in U.S. history, which is why we took the time to, you know, kind of talk about this and kind of compare them over time. It is something similar. You know, here you have the United States in 1896, you know, serving as the hero here, but, you know, a great photo here of, you know, the United States now entering as liberators of France to, you know,
Almost 50 years later. Yeah.
almost 50 years later too. That's another good point. You're really good with the math.
We are the heroes of the world.
Right. And it's often seen when you're looking at it in documents. Now, of course, you know, something we hinted at, you know, what would the Spanish version of this look like? You know, it would probably be different. It's often thrown at us that we are imperialists or conquerors. You know, again, what would the Nazi version of this look like? You know, again, maybe imperialist.
I would definitely say if we're looking at the Spanish version, a Spanish version of this picture would be like the United States meddling in affairs that we don't belong to be meddling in.
That's a good one.
You know, because Cuba wasn't ours.
Yep.
It didn't belong to us.
And again, if we wanted to take the other side here, you know, the United States was in fact neutral before they wound up getting involved. And even though they were neutral, you know, they were cash and carry plan, lend lease. You were mobilizing your military, enacting the draft during a peacetime.
And if you really want to go back in history,
Yeah.
why would we want to help liberate France? Well, they were our first ally in the world.
Right.
You know, they helped us win the American Revolution. Now we're going back, obviously, generations.
Sure.
But, you know, we helped liberate them in World War I. Not that they were conquered in World War I, but the war was being fought there.
Sure.
We prevented the invasion of Paris because they were pretty darn close. 70 miles? Was it?
About 50?
50 miles.
You talk about World War I?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 50
You
to
know,
80.
and here they've been conquered, and yeah.
It's just some nice little connections that we could kind of make that felt it was worth
Making
addressing.
connections across history.
Yeah, that's great. Good. Thanks for watching.